Hi, my name is Mandeep. I'm a GMAT coach and founder of GMAT Mantra. In this video, I'll talk about the study plan or the GMAT study plan that I follow with my students. So if you're starting with your GMAT preparation or you have already given GMAT but struggling to get to your target score, you can use this study plan. I'm just sharing a broad study plan. So when someone works with me, I customize it. But this is a generalized study plan I normally recommend to everyone. So I tell them that divide your study plan or your entire preparation in 3 stages. First stage is where you focus on the basic concepts and the right approach. Second, we focus on timing. Third, we focus on stamina. So for the basic concepts, let's say you're starting your preparation and you can start from any section, verbal, quant or data insight. So let's say you start with quant. So in quant, there will be 2 things. One, there will be the theory part. Second is to solve the questions with the right approach. So when you start with the concepts, I would recommend, what happens is we normally have this habit of reading the concepts. Once you read the concepts, probably you would see that you don't remember it long. So I recommend memorizing the concepts. How do you memorize? Let's say you're doing statistics. So statistics have certain concepts and certain formulas. You memorize those concepts and then you take a piece of paper and then you start writing those concepts and you start speaking. So you should think that as if you're teaching it to someone. So if you're able to teach those concepts, because when you're speaking and you're writing as if you're teaching someone, and if you're able to do it, that means that concept becomes a part of your memory. Then you will not forget that concept. Okay, so don't read the concept, memorize it, and try to just take a piece of paper and try to explain it to someone. Just assume it. You're not doing it actually, but assume it that you're teaching. So speak out loud. Okay, this is how you memorize the concepts. You can use it for all 3 sections. Second is to follow the right approach. Initially, when you're learning something, you will be looking at the explanations for a few questions where they'll tell you how to apply the concepts. So once you're done with that, okay, and you start practicing. When you practice, never look at the explanations for any question. Initially, focus on doing every question yourself. Even if it takes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, stay with that question as long as it takes, but solve it yourself. Once you do it yourself, automatically you will get the confidence. But if you start, you try it for 2-3 minutes and you say, I don't know, let me look at the explanation, you will not feel confident. There will be high anxiety. Okay, and that's what majority, I would say more than 90% students do that. So try to solve every question yourself. Okay, once you solve the question, let's say you solve it and it took a lot of time, then ask, is there a better way to solve this question? Because once you ask a better way, that means you're asking better approach. So there are only 3 ways to solve quant questions. So if you just start asking this question, automatically you'll reach those 3 ways of solving the question, which are very common. So again, I'm repeating, when you're practicing questions, never look at the explanation. Stick with each question and try to solve that question yourself, irrespective of how much time it takes. If you do that, okay, it may take some time initially, but if you do that, okay, you will be the master of the concepts. Once you're done with this, then you go to the second stage, where we focus on timing. For timing, I recommend my student, or normally with my students, I give them sectional quizzes. For example, there are separate quizzes for CR, RC, Quant. So there are separate quizzes for everything, where each quiz is of 30 minutes and it has 20 questions. So when they take that quiz, I ask them to use some screen recording software to record the screen and speak while giving the quiz. That means you read out loud, you think out loud. So once you do that and you have the recording, so with my students, they send the recording to me. See, the purpose of recording them is I want to see, have they followed the right approach? Secondly, where did they make mistake? Because normally anxiety is the major issue at this stage, because there will be a rush to solve every question. So when you rush, there will be high anxiety, your accuracy will be low. So here I want to understand what exactly is the problem. Similarly, you can judge yourself. Where am I going wrong? Am I following the right approach? Am I reading the question properly? Am I rushing, or am I actually concentrating to solve the question? So once you listen to yourself, you can easily make out what is the problem. So normally it's an anxiety issue. So what happens is, because there are 20 questions, 30 minutes, we try to attempt all the questions. And when we try to attempt all the questions, we make a lot of silly mistakes. You would see in GMAT, you'll not be facing problem with the knowledge, because it's not knowledge driven exam. So there'll be a lot of anxiety. So once there is a lot of anxiety, because they want to attempt all the questions. So how you can get out of it? You give yourself, okay, I'll do as many as possible. I'll not focus on the time. Because since you're not focusing on the time, you're 100% concentrated on the questions. And that is the fastest you can go. You cannot beat your concentration. Once you're completely involved in doing the question rather than thinking about the time, you will go for at the fastest speed possible for you. Everybody has a different concentration level, so their speed will vary. So even if you do 10 questions, try to get all of them correct, because GMAT is an adaptive test. So if you get questions right back to back, automatically with each question the weightage of question will increase. So if you attempt more questions with higher weightage, you get more score. But instead, let's say you get 2-3 questions correct, and then 1 or 2 questions wrong, another 1 to 3 right, and again there are 2-3 questions that are wrong. That means you're getting questions wrong at regular intervals. So the weightage of the questions will not increase, because it increases for 2 questions and then it falls for the remaining questions because you get them wrong, and then you again increase it, so you'll not get the inclination. So focus on accuracy, okay? And to get over with this anxiety, just do as many as you can do. You will see that if you follow that, you will be able to do maximum questions as per your capability, okay? Now here normally I give a target of 80% accuracy within the time. So they have to get around 16-17 questions right out of 20 in 30 minutes. Once they start getting these many questions correct, then we go to the third stage where we focus on full length mock test. Now here I normally recommend taking around 15-20 mock tests. So in the mock test, first is you have to learn how to have a stamina. So that you normally get through practice. Second is you have to decide the order in which you should give the test. So normally, what I've observed that initially maximum students prefer to give verbal quant data insight or quant verbal data insight. They keep data insight towards the last. But we have to understand data insight is something that requires a lot of energy and concentration. And the section that you do later will get less energy, less concentration. So if you just start doing data insight first and then you start with verbal or quant or verbal, you would see automatically you get better scores, because you will be scoring better in data insight. It's just an example. Something, things may change for you, but you should just figure out in which order should I give that I get the maximum score. If you're scoring, targeting around 655, I want you to get at least 655 plus in 4 to 5 mock tests back to back. So if it happens back to back, there is a high probability that you get the similar score in the test. But if you're getting around 645 in one day and then 585 on the other day, you're not ready emotionally. There is no stability. So if there's no stability, don't attempt the GMAT, because normally you will fall to the lower levels. So if your 585 is your lower and 655 is your higher, very high probability you end up getting around 575, 585. This is how things are. Okay, so don't attempt till you're getting the consistent score. So now you can use this 3 stages, and you can spend as much time as required on one stage. Don't jump to the second stage till you're done with the first stage. I hope this helps you to study better for GMAT. Thank you.